53 fatalities in Gaza. More than 400 people have been injured. The apprehension is that this conflict is only set to escalate, with thousands of Israeli troops massed, perhaps, to enter Gaza.
Hamas militants firing one barrage of rockets after another into Israel, targeting civilian areas for the fourth straight day in a sign of escalation of tension and violence along the Gaza Strip. Hamas fired more than 1,600 rockets into Israel, which has resulted in the loss of 7 lives and several injuries. Several Israeli citizens have been forced to rush to bomb shelters, and the Iron Dome rocket defense system has been in action almost continuously, destroying incoming rockets in the air. Israeli security forces hit back, launching a number of airstrikes into the Gaza Strip. Israeli security forces have called it a complex and first-of-its-kind operation, taking out the Hamas leadership and launch pads with pinpoint accuracy.
It's unfortunately escalating, and we have been trying for quite a while to de-escalate the situation. This didn't start today. You know, it started several days ago, and we were trying in Jerusalem. It started in Jerusalem, and we were trying to de-escalate the situation there. But Hamas has determined that it will stir things up and it will make trouble. It's trying to get control of the Palestinian Authority, and this is its way to do it.
The administration on the Gaza Strip claimed 83 lives had been lost, including 17 children in the Israeli airstrikes. More than 480 civilians are said to have been injured. The Israeli Air Force brought down a 6-story residential building in the heart of the Gaza Strip, claiming that the building housed top leadership of Hamas, including its security and intelligence chiefs. Israel also claimed that sufficient time had been given to residents to clear out before the building was taken out. Israel has used precision-guided munitions to target specific buildings in its airstrikes. In a sign of escalating tensions, Israel has now massed thousands of troops, tanks and armored vehicles close to the border with Gaza. Both the United Nations and the United States are closely monitoring the situation and have called for a reduction in tensions. But given the strong statements from both sides, the tension and conflict are only set to escalate. Bureau Report, India Today.
So this situation appears to be worsening. Joining me on the show is Ronnie Yedidia Klein, Israel's Deputy Ambassador to India. Ambassador Klein, is the conflict now set to escalate? Are ground troops poised to enter Gaza, ma'am?
Well, I can't tell you exactly because we haven't made the final decision yet, but we are getting ready for any eventuality. And we will, if necessary, if the rocket firing does not stop, then we will in fact have to send in the ground troops. That's something that we would rather not do, but if we don't have a choice, then we will.
What is the end game? Ambassador, at this point of time, what's Israel looking at? Because the barrages, they just seem to continue. 1,600 rockets fired at Israel.
It's actually already over 1,700 rockets as of the 1 hour ago. What we simply want is for the rockets to stop. That's our main aim. We don't want to be fired upon by Hamas. We don't want our civilian population to be held hostage by Hamas. We don't want the Palestinian civilian population to be held hostage by Hamas. Hamas is an extremist organization which it does not believe that the state of Israel should exist. It has stated numerous times, including in its own charter, that it wants to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and it doesn't care who gets killed in the way, including its own citizens. You know, 1/3 of the rockets that are being fired out of Gaza don't even make it out of Gaza, and they're falling within the lines of Gaza and killing their own citizens. They don't even care about their own people. If they'd even move their launching apparatus into open fields, which there are plenty of in Gaza, they won't be bringing such harm to their own citizenry.
And yet with those cheap rockets